What can you do, right?
Oh, well, I mean, why does it only ever go wrong when you don't want it to? So
Hi,
true.
everybody. Hi, Kathy.
So, how are you, Mr.
Oh,
Civilian?
not yet. Almost there. Almost there. I'm still on what they call terminal leave.
Yeah.
So I'm still under the terminal leave, but yeah, they basically just said,
Yeah, so basically they're paying you to stay at home. Yes, it's a good job, isn't it? Yeah.
right? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it is. It's
Ah,
it's very good. My son always says that. He's sort of moving between two posts at the minute,
yes.
and one person's not quite left, but they've already got him down there, so they're actually paying him to do nothing. He thinks it's wonderful.
Uh, I agree. I can't complain.
You know, I'm still coughing, but mostly I'm all right.
Good. I mean, you look great today, Miss Ruth.
Summary. It's we've got the sun out. I missed it. Yeah, we've got the sun out today, which is very unusual for us. Which is why I'm so excited about Nashville because
Oh,
hi Jane,
I, I
because
do
we're
know.
going to see some we're going to see some sunshine. Oh,
Yeah,
so
you see some sunshine, hopefully some cowboys, listen to some good country music.
yeah, we're going to a country music show and meal on the riverboat on Friday.
Oh my goodness, that's so awesome.
So yeah, really looking forward to that.
Oh, good. I bet you are. The rumor has it that there might be a New Yorker that's going to come down and visit.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, I
that's the
hope so.
rumor.
Oh, I
That's
hope
the
so, hope so,
rumor.
hope so. Oh,
Yeah,
never.
say,
Oh, Misty. Oh no, it's too early, Misty. We're not there till June.
oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. I
Look,
can't
Callie's
cross
just
my
right there.
fingers, It takes me a lot to cross my fingers. So there's my. I've got to sort of cross them. So
No,
I
it's
hope
fine.
so.
No,
It'll be lovely.
definitely going to be there. So,
It's lovely. It'll be lovely to see. Yeah. I mean, because
absolutely. Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
so. Well, we sort of letting everybody know that there's not going to be much happening on the page on those 2 weeks because I'm going from Nashville to San Jose with Dana.
Wow.
Yeah, Dana, who is Romance Sam Spotter, you know who she is
Yes.
anyway. Um, we are going to stay a week with her sister in San Jose.
Wow. Boy. So you're gonna go from country life to
Yeah,
to to, to the party beach life.
well, I don't think we're very party beach people, really. Um,
Miss Ruth,
my,
I'm pretty sure you can really tear it up,
I
right?
could, I'd be able to manage for those few days,
Oh
yeah.
yes, there you go. See?
Um, so yeah, so scammers are going to have to behave themselves for just 2 weeks. Thank you, Glenn. I'm so looking forward to it. Um, and you know what I said to you earlier. I just want to make people listen because all we get all the time. And I'll go back to a lady this morning. It took us a long time to get a lady out this morning,
Uh,
but we did.
good.
But he said this, but he said that. But if you said that child is his child, well, actually, the guy that they were using is another guy that we know quite well
Oh.
called Kevin R. Davis, and he's gay, and he's a
Oh.
model, and he doesn't work on an oil rig, and he's definitely not got any kids. I can, assure her
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
that. In the end, in the end, I think we put forward enough things to prove to her who Kevin was. You've got a really weird job, Caesar. He's a model for romance cover
Okay.
novels.
Right. Oh. Oh, kind of
So
like
he,
Fabio back in the day.
yeah. Um,
Okay.
but he's never been anywhere near an oil rig. Um, and nice guy, very busy guy. So, but we could put enough over to her.
Yes.
But she kept going on about this child, and it took us a while. Even Sandy was getting quite frustrated because it took us a while. But what about the child? He said he's got a child. He hasn't got a child, right? Um, and it's just that they listen very closely to, and I get it. I get the reason why they listen very closely to what the scammer's telling them
Hmm.
and argue with us about what we're telling them.
Yes, facts. They will argue and they will defend the scammer story, and I mean, and it's a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons. One is they've fallen into that emotional trap.
Yes.
They're there. They're there, and it's encased in it. So whatever little proof they did show, that's their proof to stay.
Yeah. And of
And again,
course,
it's that mental trap.
yeah, like this lady, um,
Mhm.
she sent a lot of money. And who was that? Glenn. There's always a sob story. Yes. Well, this poor child was in a boarding school in America, and they were just about to throw her out because his bank account had frozen and he couldn't pay the school fees, as you do.
Wow.
So it, we could talk her. It took a while to talk around from that, but we did. And when we did, and I showed her some of the romance cover books things that Kevin's on the front of. I
Okay.
said, "Does he really look like a man on an oil rig? He'd probably break a nail if he went on an oil rig." Um, sorry, Kevin, love you dearly. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so she did in the end, and I did feel sorry for her because it was simply because she'd looked at something, not even on Facebook, she'd looked at something, and a picture had popped up, and it was one of Sandy's Photoshop pictures. And the original of it was the
Hmm.
sky. And so she'd come to us and said, what's this about? Um, and, it all went from there. So it took us a while, but, we don't give in. We're a bit dog with a bone. Yes, Glenn, the boarding school. I mean, every child who goes to a boarding school's got to have somebody that lives not too far away
Hmm.
as, uh,
Emergency
you know,
contact.
yeah, because, well, if the parents are going to be across the world. Yes, Jane, Kevin R. Davis. And yeah, could you put him on an iron, Jane? Because I don't think I could. You know,
No.
he definitely wouldn't
No. Miss.
manage on an iron. but but nice guy, interesting backstory, and I very much admire him because of his interesting backstory. But it's just getting everybody to actually listen to all sides. You know, uh,
Absolutely.
and think of to accept an alternative because they won't. We know this. And it's just to get people to listen. And, half of the time, by the time they've found them on our page and they come to us, they've got very deep
Mhm.
suspicions anyway.
Oh
Because it's
yes,
like,
absolutely.
what the hell is he doing on your page? I tell you what the funny ones are, where they come to us and say, "Excuse me, could you take my husband's pictures from your page, please?" He doesn't like it.
Oh.
So we always say, "Have you ever met your husband?" "Well, no, but when he comes home, he'll tell you." He doesn't like it. We get more of those than you think.
Wow.
Um,
Really?
yeah, we do. Yeah, on Facebook and on Instagram, they will come and they will say to us,
Yeah.
it's not fair us calling them scammers. Well, come on, as if.
Yeah.
You see, so in a scam,
Hmm.
the listening is selective.
100%. 100%. It is always going to be selective. Because think about it. It's actually in our human nature to actually not want to be wrong, right? 'Cause we always want to be right,
Yeah.
right? For example, if someone says, "Hey, your name is Ruth with an E," you're gonna tell them no,
Yeah.
it's Ruth, and the
Yeah.
person can right now constantly argue with it, but you know that you're right.
Yeah.
So right there, they know in their mind that they are right, and they will combat them because not only that is that not only do they have um they're mentally invested in this relationship, they're also emotionally invested, and that's a
Yeah.
hard baggage to actually try to open up and overturn. It's very hard.
It is very hard. And of course, factor in that the financial as well.
Oh my
Because
goodness,
I
absolutely.
had I had a young lady this morning and she lost $800. Now,
Okay,
her losing $800 was probably like somebody else losing $100,000.
absolutely.
That's all she had. And of course, she'd sent the money for the package that this guy was sending her. And then they've come back and they asked for some more money. They asked for another $1,000.
Mm.
And well, Misty, that's what I like about them. They're stupid. And I applaud their stupidity because they never in in at least 14 years, they've never come up with a lot of different stories. Little tweaks on them,
Little tweaks. Yep, yep. They'll
but
do little tweaks.
I'm Mary. But it is basically the same story, which is good for us. Um, but yes, this girl this morning, she was fighting us as well. But she'd gone through, and do you know, Caesar, the guy that they were using on her is something that I really don't like. It shouldn't matter because everybody should be equal. But the guy's was a pastor in the army.
Really? So the
Yes,
American Army, I mean, U.S. Army, right?
Derek Riggs. Yes, yes.
Oh wow.
Um, and he, thank you, Mary. And
Hello, man.
and yeah, and Derek, and he's he was a pastor forever. In fact, he's not long been retired. He's a pastor
Okay.
forever. A pastor on a Harley Davidson, the coolest pastor you've ever come across.
Yeah, that sounds.
But a man of God, and they have used him in scams because who would not think a man of God was genuine?
That's yeah. Chaplains, yeah, they're usually good people. I
Yeah,
mean, I became friends with a lot of good chaplains, and yeah, I could totally, I can understand that. Again, like you said,
yeah,
man of God, or just a man of
yeah,
religion.
yeah.
You're gonna take that to account. That man, this person is legit. He's sincere.
I had to go to a church service, well, a cathedral service in Portsmouth Cathedral. I went to a service with a Royal Navy
Okay,
chaplain. Lovely guy, really nice, but he was about 6'7", and I'm about 5 foot nothing. So every time I wanted to talk to him, I had to look a long way up. Um, this guy just too tall. Um, Good friend of my son's, but but yeah, and it's very difficult. You can feel that the hurt that the
hmm
victim feels that little bit more when they've used religion because they've just invested so much of themselves into it.
absolutely. And like you said, religion, especially religion.
Yeah,
Because we all know the background of religion. People utilize religion as a safe space.
yeah,
Or you hear the stories about the guy who is an addict. What happened? He found God,
yeah.
and he turned his life around. So immediately when you see religion or anything saying it's a religion, like I
Yeah.
said, you're gonna find sincerity in that.
You always think
Mhm.
that for anything they're going to help you. I'm still coughing, Mary. Honestly, I've had this cough. I can talk to tonight. I haven't always been able to. You think I smoke 40 cigarettes a day for the last 40 years? You really will. I've never smoked in my life.
Good.
But I've got this cough that makes me sound as if I was a very
You
heavy
sound
cigarette
fine,
smoker.
Miss Ruth. Trust me, you sound fine.
But yeah, so, we like people to listen to us, but you've got to really feel. really feel for the victim
Yes.
and really feel how the hell can they sleep at night for the scammers?
And that's facts, because that's what also makes it hard for the loved ones, because a lot of times, and I'm sure you've seen this with your experience with Ruth when talking to victims. Sometimes family members or loved ones can be a little too brisk, a little too hard towards the victim, where it's kind of
Yes.
like, instead of you're talking to me, you're
Yeah.
talking at me,
Yeah.
and they're gonna be automatically defensive already.
And it's sort of that's when the victim pulls back. And of course the scammer says, just keep it secret. Don't tell them anything else. Look, when I get home, they'll meet me and they love me. But don't tell them anything else. So the family are driving a wedge between themselves and the victim.
Hmm.
And the victim is going towards the scammer. And the scammer is winning. Do the scammers ever use their victims' pictures and chats for the stories? Yes, Catherine, they do. They will use anything they get. So if they've got pictures of you, then you could be selling fake puppies. You could be on Marketplace, renting out an apartment. You could be somebody saying, oh, look at me. I've got $20,000 this week from investing in Bitcoin. They will use anything.
Yeah.
If they've got your children, and just as this one that we've just been talking about,
Hmm.
your children will become their children.
Yep.
So in a future scam, it's, oh, look, this is my little daughter that's at boarding school in America. All on a little lonesome. And now I'm going to say this, and don't take it the wrong way, but very often the pictures that they use, in the scams, they're quite posed, they're quite good quality. The pictures that we use of ourselves, they're just a little bit more snappish, just a quick selfie. So they quite like the ordinary looking pictures because you don't look at that and think, "Ooh, is that all right?"
Yeah.
They look at an ordinary picture and think you must be all right. And
That's a good point.
you are not human to them, so don't think you are.
No.
You are not a human being to them. You are there to use either for money
Hmm.
or handling money
Hmm.
or anything, or
Yeah,
what you
you're
can
just a
send them.
supply. That's all you are, is a
Yeah.
supply. That's it.
And they don't care, basically. They really don't care. Half of the time, they don't even know what your name is.
No.
Um, they really don't. There was one lady who, or a journalist who did a sort of sting thing with some scammers, and he had 83 live scams on the go on his phone, but there were 1 to 83. There were one,
Wow.
two, three, four, five, six, seven. There weren't names. That is
Wow.
how,
No, really?
that is, yeah, yeah, that you are not names. You are just, you're a commodity, you're a client. And that basically is it. And I keep getting them. I mean, the lazy buggers that keep saying to me, what is your name and where are you from?
Hmm.
Oh, have a look. You stupid boys. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it is. I'm just here, honey, babe. Oh, don't go there with my queen.
Queen. Yeah. Or they call you wife within in a week.
Yes, that's
I
a
mean,
bit of
come
an
on,
insult to
everybody.
me.
Everyone has dated someone offline, and
Yeah,
I don't remember ever, you know, and I'm an awesome guy, and I never had a female call me their husband in a week.
no,
Just saying. No, I mean, I
I,
don't think. No.
I think it's a bit of an. eh, I know why they do it because they want to sort of keep you, but it's a bit of an insult because you want to call this wife? You put a ring on her finger and you get her down the aisle. You don't just say wife, you know.
I agree.
Mm,
I agree. Put a ring around. What did Beyonce say? Right?
if you like
Put a
it, put a ring on
put
it
a
or
ring on
something.
it.
Yeah, preferably an expensive one. So you know it's.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
yeah, it's
I
like my grand.
agree.
It's like my grandson and his girlfriend. She
I
keeps
agree.
she keeps hinting that you know you have you there's been no ring yet. So
Yeah, right.
whatever. But she keeps saying you
He's
haven't got any
asked
money.
what can they do with AI and KI?
What's
Oh,
KI?
I don't know what's KI. I never heard of KI.
I
I
don't
I
know
know
what
AI.
KI is. So what's K? Something intelligence? They can do anything they like with AI.
Yeah,
And
and
they
I can
do
tell everyone Miss Ruth has already posted a whole bunch of fake AI ones, and boy, if you can't sniff that out, I'm sorry. Just
very
yeah.
few are any good. I mean, there are one
Well,
or two that are good. I'm not saying they're all really bad, but you see, the thing is with AI now you can do it on an iPhone. You know, they can put a picture in, they can put a
yeah.
clip of that person's voice, and
Mm-hmm.
then they can type a message. So they could say,
It,
"Hello, Caesar.
mm-hmm.
You are my king.
Yep.
You are my husband. Love you very much." And they can actually send that, and that's how it will come out. Um, but some of them are bad.
Yeah,
Um,
it sounds very robotic. Ain't that right, Miss Ruth?
and it's not right. So the sentence will be, oh yeah, um, the sentence will be, "Hello, um, it's nice to talk to you today." But it's just not right.
Yeah. 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 There'll
The
be
one
weird
thing
pauses,
that,
weird
yeah,
yeah.
if they like pause it in the middle of the sentence, at the end of the sentence, just go into the next one. Yes, driving me up the wall. Um, but but also they can send these video messages, and some of
Mhm.
them are okay, some of them are not. But they're saying I can't do a video call, but I can send you a message, and on these messages, um, they've got a name.
Mhm.
You know, so I could send, say, "Hello, Caesar. It's Monday." And so they can uh, they can send these out, and the victim will accept them because it's got the name on. I
Right.
th- I think the no, it's not because I've heard most of the AI ones are just rubbish, basically. The bad ones.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, that's actually my friend, Miss Ruth. I've actually worked some
I've,
army events with him. So
so that's a name that I just didn't know. I did.
yeah, that's one of my friends. He probably saw me on here. So
Yeah. And it's some of them, but you've got to realise that a lot of these people who are making them, they haven't got a very good use of English.
that's
So
correct.
when the punctuation and the pauses and everything are wrong in the message, they actually sometimes do not know what they're actually saying, so they don't notice, so they'll send it out anyway.
Yep. Yeah.
Um, and we like to laugh at those. To be honest, they do us a really good favour. Now, the
Hmm.
one thing that we have found that they have not been able to do yet, they will be, it'll come, is they haven't been able to do a video chat using the, AI deep fake or cheap fail, or, whatever I call them. They haven't been able to do that yet.
Yeah.
Um, Now, do you really think that's a recommendation, Caesar? I can vouch for him.
Oh, I meant. I'm sorry. I meant my friend Anthony.
Yeah, well, I know Caesar. um,
Ah! I'm sorry.
so yeah, so we sort of, you see, if you make people laugh at these bad AI messages, they remember them.
Yeah.
And so, if you make people laugh at things, they do remember them, and it gets the thing across. And we have found that the only video chat that I've seen
Mhm.
where it's been a live chat like this, the mouth was moving to the words, but
Right.
the voice was the scammer.
Oh, okay.
And he was very Nigerian, and you can imagine putting a
Ah,
very Nigerian voice into your face. You know,
I
it's
agree.
good.
Yeah. No, I fully agree. And yeah, they've I mean, like Ruth said, guys, the AI, it can be really good, but it's a few things you need to look out for. Like Miss Ruth said before, the grammar, the weird
Yeah,
pauses. It's like, they'll say, "Hi, how are you today? I'm great. I'm glad you get,"
yeah,
it just sounds robotic. Also, look out for everyone. And I always find every time Miss Ruth puts out those fake AI ones, I look for the body movements.
yeah,
And here's what I mean. There was one that Miss Ruth put out that the person, when they talked, they did this. And all of a sudden you see it come back doing it again. And it was like perfectly timed every
yeah.
few seconds. It
Yeah.
literally went like this.
It's
Hi,
like a
my
thing.
name is so and so. I am so glad to guys finally to meet you. See, I am not scam. I am real person. I
Yeah,
was like, oh my goodness.
yeah,
It was like watching those what do you call those? Chuck E. Cheese, those little animatronics.
yeah,
Every time they,
yeah,
they would do the
yeah,
same thing. And that's exactly what they were doing. You can even also like the eyes. The eyes tell, like they
yeah,
said, the eyes are the window of the world. Everybody, if you see those videos they send them, you'll see they'll blink literally at the same second. So if they blink at 5 seconds, they're gonna do it again 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds,
yeah.
5 seconds,
We
five
had we
seconds.
had a really good one that was so funny, and it was a guy that we've been used for a long time, and they'd sent this video, but he kept doing this, and every 2 or 3 seconds it was looking up, and then he would talk, and then he would look up, and I'm thinking he looked like he had a twitch. It
Yeah.
just didn't go. The love scammer spoke to me in beautiful English. Yes, they will, Isabel was eloquent and always responded to my doubts, which I soon had. Well, there are various ways that they can do that. There are some who are good in English. You've got to remember that the actual national native language of Nigeria is English.
Hmm.
They have dialects, their own little languages, tribally. The main one's English. So you get a really, sort of intelligent person. And yeah, the English should be good. There is an app online called Grammarly.
Yeah,
And
grammar is good.
Grammarly,
Hmm.
you put whatever you want in, and it will. If you think about using Google Translate, where you put it in English and it comes out in Portuguese, Grammarly, you put the wording in and it comes out in perfect English.
Yeah.
So it makes them look good. It's not them, but it makes them look good. And also sometimes using voice input will put the words right. But mostly it's Grammarly. I asked him to make a video call and he did. Now, was this video call like 5 seconds long and you saw him move, but you actually didn't speak to him, but you saw him move, but it was bad reception.
Remember, Miss Ruth? That's what happened to me. That's what they did for me with one of my reels. They used
Hmm.
that to speak to
Yeah.
people, and they said that was them calling, and they said it was bad connection. So you would have me talking, and it would just come in and out and out and out.
Their English was good, and he even talked to me in Spanish, and you did with an English. They can do anything because
Yeah,
don't think they're clever, but they have bits that can do anything. They are
yeah,
not. They will. You've got somebody who does this 24 hours a day,
yeah,
7 days a week as their main job. You get good
yeah,
after a while.
yeah, yeah. Remember, Miss Ruth? We talked about this a while ago. Everybody, that in Nigeria, that is literally their number two and number three source of income. in that country. So yeah, they're gonna be really good at it. They're getting
I
better.
mean, the financial people, and the government in America, um, all say that, you know, 2.3 billion was lost last year. But you've got to remember that 2.3 billion was made by somebody. So yeah, you've lost it in America, but it's gone to somebody else. It just doesn't disappear. Um, is it an organization or one person? It's anticipated there are over 2 million
Hmm.
scammers across West Africa. Now, that's Nigeria, Ghana, Cote
Hmm.
d'Ivoire, Cameroon, all Niger, all around there. Now, sometimes they get out. We do know we've got some in Italy, we've got some in London. They do get out as illegal immigrants. Scam where they are. I
Yeah.
talked to one who was in Cyprus.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and if you look at reports of ones that have been um, arrested for the really big scams, the millions of dollars scams, they always have a contact back in Nigeria. So
Yeah.
you would be speaking with multiple people. So, because if you think about it, we're going to be logical again. They are, so we've got Kathy on here, who is in Australia. But there might be, Colleen's not on here tonight. Misty is,
Uh-huh.
you know, um, in America. They might be scamming Misty at the same time as Kathy, at the same time as me, at the same time as somebody in Sweden. So they've got to cover all time zones. So they work shifts. They literally have a shift system.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and so they will, and some have different expertise. We track their Telegram, the Yahoo Boys Telegram groups. And you have them who are experts in blackmail. So if you're having a bit of trouble getting some money out of anybody, they will come and blackmail the victim for them for a cut of the money that they get.
Yeah.
They've got everything sorted. Absolutely everything sorted. Because there are no emotions invested on their side.
None.
Uh, They don't care. This is a job. And also, um, hi Sandy. And also, they are they are a long way away. And I know that's really sounds pathetic, but you know, it's nothing to them. You're a client. They call you a client. Not they don't like the word victim because it's a bit emotional, that one. You're a
Yeah.
client. You
Client.
are
Yeah.
a client. And
Yeah, that's
that's what they
cool.
call their victims. You mean nothing to them. Now, so say we've got somebody that's been, so they're Sandy. Say we've got somebody who's been scamming Sandy with Caesar's pictures.
Hmm.
And Sandy says, oi, well, probably not like that, but you know what I mean. Um, she got a bit of a draw. Oi. Yeah, she's got a bit of a draw, Sandy. I know that you're fake. So you very often will get a confession. Well, actually, yeah, it's not me. I'm not the person in the pictures. But I've fallen in love with you. I haven't been talking to you. And I can't tell you how many times that gets accepted.
Yeah. And remember what we said before, it's always the words. The words get put into emotions, and that's it. Hook, line, and sinker. And they don't stop. That's the key. They don't
No.
stop. They'll tell you hello one day, then you're like,
Yeah.
okay, maybe I don't know this person. Next day they come back, hey, gorgeous, how are you? And you think, okay, yeah, I'm fine. And they just keep coming, and they'll contact you again and contact you, and to the point where you let your guard down.
And
and
it's
that's what they
it's
hook you.
night and morning, so it's
Sure.
good night, sweet dreams, and you know,
Yeah.
yeah, and there's looks like she's called Eva. They really do get to you. And the thing is, Eva, that what, and I don't know how to change this, but it's all right for all these organizations to say, oh yes, there was $203 million sent.
Hmm.
Yeah, okay. You can put a figure on that. You can't put a figure on your ruined life. We have a lady at the moment, we're dealing with a family at the moment, and the families actually cut themselves off from her. But the mother has given everything away that she's got. She sold her house,
Oh,
and she was down to $50,000, and she
oh
sent it to the
no.
scammer. Of course, he wants another 10,000, doesn't he?
Jeez.
And so this woman is going to be homeless,
Yeah.
familyless because she's been awful, and ruined because of some crazy people sat in Nigeria. They are in many social apps and dating apps, and Caesar, I don't know many real military who would go on a dating app.
So you do have some that will go on there. I mean, they will. The only thing is, it's they'll be sincere, or if
Yeah,
they how should we say, if we're deployed, yeah, we're
that's
not
what I mean. Yeah,
we're not
and
going
of
to go
course,
onto dating sites. There's no need. There's no need. We're not there.
yeah, there's no
You
point
know,
really, is
there's,
there?
there's no
You
point.
know,
There's no point in me talking to someone and then saying, "Oh, well, I can't wait to see you in a year." No, there's no point. And none of my single soldiers even done that. Maybe when they got back home,
yeah,
sure, they
yeah.
would get on their little apps, and hey, I'm going on a date. All right, cool, whatever. But they're home, not while deployed. Because I can tell you right now, with my deployments, you didn't have time.
Because
You
you're
didn't have
there
time.
to do a very important job.
Correct. I mean,
And
yeah, because I didn't even have a chance to talk to my family on a daily basis.
I think I think when you're deployed, it's like it's not like when you're here, when you're there. You don't have a duty set of duty hours and then you're off duty. There's always something, you've always got to be alert anyway. But the thing is, Caesar, let's have a little quick mention
Hmm.
for the secret mission.
What would you like me to share about the secret mission?
You can't tell anybody.
No. So when I actually went on actual secret missions, everyone, my wife did not even know about any secret mission. Okay. Even when I went out the wire just for a routine mission, my wife did not know. All I did was me and my wife, we made a like a communication script where if I said a certain word, she knew that
Yeah,
she was going to hear from me.
yeah,
She knew. All I had to do was say one word in a sentence, and that
yeah,
was it. She understood. She knew. She didn't fight me about it, and that was it.
yeah,
That was it. Now, I will say this though. I blame doggone movies, war movies. Like if you guys remember the
yeah,
movie American Sniper,
yeah.
right? Great movie and about a great guy.
Chris, what's
But
his face? Yeah,
there's no way, shape, or form am I calling my family while I'm
yeah,
en route
yeah,
on his. He had top secret missions that he was going on. There's no
yeah.
way I'm on a phone talking to my family. None.
Yeah.
Zero.
I
Zero. Everybody.
suppose, yeah, I suppose, as much as Secret Mission sounds very, very exciting, it's
There you go.
not.
It's exciting. Yes.
It's not for a film, not for a movie.
No. And it's not for anyone to know. Hence why
No.
it's called secret or top secret. So if I'm say even just my relationship with Miss Ruth right now, if I were to say if the Army said, "Hey, we want you to go on a top secret mission because you got to do
I
this
get
this this
there.
this," I am not going to say, "Hey, Miss Ruth,
Oh, yeah,
I'm going here and there."
yeah,
My
yeah,
communication with Miss Ruth is, "Hey, I have something very important to do with the Army, and it's going to take me away for a while.
yeah,
I'll contact you, Miss Ruth, when I get back." And that's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's it. I mean, what? That's all that needs to be said. There's no way, shape, or form that a a civilian is going to
Mhm.
know about some top secret
Yeah.
mission or even dates, even though they're not giving
Because
you
it could be
details.
anybody. I mean, they
They
could
can,
be.
right. There's no way you can't even tell the dates. Everyone,
No.
I'll give you a quick thing. We had a first sergeant actually went on social media and just put down when we are leaving and when we're touching down. Miss Ruth, can you tell me? Can you think of what happened to that first one?
Absolutely.
That person lost. First of all, they lost their rank. They were no more first sergeant anymore. They were basically doing what do they call those? Hey, give me a coffee and a bagel. Mind you,
Yeah.
this person is an E8 in the army. It's the it's a rank right below sergeant major, one of the highest
Yeah.
on the enlisted side. And that person lost everything. I think if I'm mistaken, that person got bumped down two ranks down. It was
That's a big.
actually,
Yeah, it's a big pay hit as well, isn't it?
oh my god, you ain't kidding. To include they that was it. They were done with the army.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
person was relieved of everything and asked to leave. All because again, what I do, they put down on their social media, they didn't put down details, they just put down when we're leaving. But again, you
Yeah.
can't, no details, none,
Yeah.
none.
I I would say that nobody needs any details, Caesar. Really?
Well, like you said earlier, Miss Ruth, you said that because it's exciting. Like,
Yeah, I
oh man,
suppose.
Miss Ruth is
Yep.
on a secret mission. She's telling me,
Yeah. Mm.
it's exciting. You're like, wow, I'm part of it now. But it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Not.
I like the FBI secret agent that's on Twitter at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So in a bio, she is an FBI secret mission. She's an FBI secret agent working undercover, and that's what
Wait,
she's written in the bio.
FBI secret mission working on the cover?
Yeah, telling everybody in big letters what she's doing. You know. Yeah. So
I'm laughing. It's just, yeah, that's,
yeah, I mean, it's not thought through, really, is it? But yeah, it's a nasty world that we deal with. It's a very nasty world because the lady who said she'd had her life ruined.
yes,
By the time the scammers had decided they're not going to get anything more out of her, and the scam is over, they don't give a damn because they've got loads more. Um,
absolutely.
they've got lots of women, 70 or 80 women at the same time. They are scamming. Second, there is natural wastage. We've got to the end of this one. Well, get rid of her. You know. Now, there's uh, this. This is another bugbear of mine. He said he had to finish the video chat because his commander was near. This is the wonderful commander.
Yeah, I've heard the commanders before. Yeah,
I mean, they're
yeah,
so important. They're so important. These generals, these commanders, um, they're always hanging out with the men, and they deal with the leave requests.
yeah, yeah. And also, everyone, I'll be honest, if it's American, I can't speak for European,
It's
or
usually
outside,
American.
but in American, we will not call them commanders. We will not call them
Nope.
commanders. So if my sergeant is walking by, then I'm gonna say my sergeant is walking by. If my platoon sergeant, my first, I'm gonna use them by their proper title. A commander is not a title.
No. You can be a
It's
commander
just
of something, as in
sure,
you can be in command of it. But
right,
commander
right,
is not
right.
a title. You will get the rank that you have attained. It's not commander, and they all use that phrase,
They
commander.
use that phrase. They say the commander said that I cannot do this. The commander
Yeah,
said no. There's no one uses the word commander. Nobody. and then there's gonna be no commander that's gonna tell you that you can't talk to a loved one because they're gonna give you time. If you're overseas, you're gonna have time to talk to your loved ones. You will, whether you're deployed or not. I mean, right now there's really no combat deployments,
Yeah.
everyone. So and there maybe if they are a few, but it's not like what you saw like 10, 15 years ago
Yeah.
where we're the war on terrorism.
Yeah. It's very different the way things are at the moment. A lot of it is standing by, really, isn't it?
That's correct.
Especially
Yes.
in Europe and in the Middle East. But it's not going out. We get so many where you can read he's been out on patrol at night and they lost 6 men. No, you wouldn't be
No.
told that anyway.
No. And we had this conversation before, right, Miss Ruth? If
Yes.
there are so
Yep.
if there
Yep.
so we're gonna I'll rehash this real quick, everyone.
Yep.
If there is a death, even on the base that you didn't even know about, there was a
Yep.
total blackout.
Yep.
You you'll not no there is no social media, no nothing. Everything just shuts down. Okay, not and it's not us. It's literally big military shutting everything down, saying no one's talking. And that's it. So
Yep.
yeah, you're not gonna go and yeah, I just came back from a secret mission and I had 6 guys die. No,
Yeah.
no.
And I'll touch on the Nigerians who are in the cults. And they all are in with black magic a little bit.
Oh
Um,
yeah, okay.
they do like the juju, and I will say, Sandy and I, and a few others have had our name and our pictures taken down to the temple many times, and we've always been going to die within 3 days. Now, the
You
first
know
time I
what?
was going,
That's all, no. You know what? It'll never happen because you know what, ladies? I guarantee you have guardian angels watching over you, Ruth. Guardian angels watching over Miss Sandy, Miss Kathy,
well,
all you ladies and
yeah,
gentlemen. So trust me,
I mean,
ain't no juju coming.
we just think it's quite hilarious. I just hope they've got to pay for it because we're not that my first death threat and temple death threat was in 2016, and I was going to die in 3 days. It's been a long 3 days.
Wow,
Um,
serious?
hmm
Oh my
we
God, Miss
get them
Ruth.
often. Yeah, yeah. First time it is. Yeah, they curse your mum and dad. Yeah, they curse my mum and dad, and they're not even alive. Um, yeah, it's just and I want to say something to everybody who, at the end of the scam, might get a curse or uh, death threats or whatever. It's words, and it's words on a text. It
Yeah,
means nothing. It looks bad. It looks scary, but it means nothing at all. But there are big. There are two massive big organizations of Nigerian cyber criminals. One is the Black Axe,
Black
and
Axe.
that
Okay,
yeah, the Black Axe is big in Canada, and then you've got Scattered Canary. How they
really?
get the name Scattered Canary? You look up these two; it's really interesting. Honestly,
I will look them up.
yeah,
Wow.
it really is interesting. Black Axe originated in Nigeria as a sort of brotherhood type thing.
Okay.
But it's spread across the world, and it's men who have left Nigeria and gone to other places, and it's sort of like a mafia of bad guys, basically. Um, and the thing is, they've got more resources and more people to. But I will tell you, and I stand by this 100%. If you are uh, threatened, and they say who they've got watching you, well, I could probably describe your street if I knew the address because I've got Google Maps. Um, whatever they say, you are not under any physical threat.
Yeah.
They will try and get you. They will, and they do, and they worry you, and they will really make you. very scared.
Mhm.
Kathy was one of them. But it's all words. They're all, as we would say in England, and it's not a saying you've got, they're all mouth and trousers, and I don't know where that comes from, but it basically means they say a lot and mean very little. The
Right.
Interpol, FBI, or police must track their telephone line before we cut. No, no. I can tell you now, the Interpol, I don't know what people's idea of Interpol is, but Interpol deals with police agencies. So Interpol might talk to the British police and the Austrian police and the Swiss police. Talk to you. The FBI do not track telephone lines before you cut conversations, and I don't care who tells you that you've got to keep talking to them so they can get to you. Rubbish. And emails. They will not track emails. I can promise you 100% that is what happens. Well, precious little happens in actually. They don't use burner phones. They use, I'm going to get all technical here.
There you go,
They
Mister.
use they used what is called VoIP.
Hmm.
Now, VoIP is voice over internet profile. So there is the hint. So these are companies. You've got Google Voice, you've got Bandwidth, you've got Envoy, and you can go on there and you can pick. I can pick a New York telephone number. I can register it in my name. I can use that number on my phone, and when I
Yep.
phone Caesar, the New York number comes up on the display.
Facts.
So these numbers can be used anywhere in on any phone anywhere in the world. So don't think it's a burner phone. It's not. It's not that
Yeah, not a
technical.
burner phone.
They don't, and they've got lots of them. So that they'll have 20 or 30 different phone numbers registered. So if you block one, they're going to get you on another one.
Hmm.
Interpol is used further to scam people, as if Interpol. My background's working for the police, so I sort of know it. Um, can I get the Iceland? Can I get the Icelandic police this info? Yeah, you can talk to them.
Hmm. You can set up a call, police report.
I would quite happily talk to them. The problem that everybody's got is there is no jurisdiction for even American law enforcement to work in Africa, and that's the problem.
100%. That's 100%.
And of course, Caesar, they all know this,
Absolutely. They know they have no
you know?
jurisdiction, so you can't get them. You can't. I think there's maybe a handful of times
Yeah.
where there was actual factual, say, an investigation from here to say
Yeah.
overseas, and that was only because I want to say death threats, but like it
But
was like really like sending. I think it was a big
it
thing.
was
It was a big
there
thing
was
too a couple of years ago.
the sextortion one where
Yes,
they,
that
they
was
were
in
saying
China.
to the young boy, "Are you not dead yet? Have you not done it yet?" And he killed himself. Now, because
Yeah,
of the severity of that, they did actually extradite two very young Nigerians, and
yeah.
they're in prison in the United States now. So, yeah,
So yeah, there are times, but there has to be really, really.
yeah,
I mean, you don't even want to go there that route. You don't want to be
yeah,
on that at that time that route. But yeah, that was really recent, Roger.
yeah.
That was real
It's
recent.
very, very sad, really sad, because they don't. Well, I'll go back to the fact saying they don't care. They said I would go to jail if I didn't pay the fee. Yeah, they said that to Kathy actually. Yeah, of course they will. They can say anything by text, as I
Yeah,
am very fond of saying to people. I'm the Queen of England. Do you believe me? And everybody comes back and says no. Well, that's fine. Of course I'm not because I can't prove it. Well,
yep.
um,
Good hackers, which fight against
no
them.
such thing. No such thing.
I
The
don't I
good
don't know any
hackers.
good hacker, if you know what I
No,
mean.
I can tell you now. Hacker equals scammer. They are scammers scamming victims. But for some reason, people like the word hacker. So they will go and say, oh, I'm talking to a hacker who's going to find my scammer and get the money back. After you've paid the fees, of course.
You ain't paid. You
No,
ain't getting
there
that.
is no such thing. Stop believing absolutely everything that comes to you on a phone. Because people do.
No,
And it's dangerous because they're winning because of it.
it's very dangerous. Yeah, don't even bother. Just block them. Stop talking.
Never send money.
That's it.
And can you imagine if they're using Caesar? So you are getting Caesar's pictures and his son, usually. Um,
Hmm.
they've given you a VoIP telephone number. They are sending you Gmails. Now, the IP address on a Gmail is the location of Gmail servers, not where the scammer is.
Facts.
And so, you know, um, you're not going to find out who it is. And they're hiding behind Caesar's pictures. How do you trust a man after this? You stand in front of one and meet him in person. I really believed in this connection, and when I do know if a man has true intentions from now on, well, you have a proper video chat. He doesn't live across the world.
Yeah,
Um, he's not hiding.
not hiding.
You have a video
Um,
chat like this, and if he's going to have a video chat like this, you know exactly who he is.
yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, trust only people you can touch. Trust only people you can stand in front of and look in their eyes. And if you can't, if they put you off for any reason, read.
There you go. Wipe your hands like punching pilots. There you go.
Yeah, I've been doing this for about 14 years. And in that 14 years, I've had two ladies who've actually met real men on dating sites. That's not a very good success rate. But I will say that the two ladies who did who did meet real men, they were lovely real men. They were so nice, and it was worth it to see them happy. There are stories like the Tinder swindler, and that was a person, of course. There
I
was a
mean,
person.
life is all risk, everybody. I mean, no matter what, there's gonna be risk towards anyone. So, I mean,
Yeah.
unfortunately, that's just life.
You see, you've got that there's stories like the Tinder swindler, and there's another one coming out very soon.
Hmm.
And it's very, very similar to the Tinder swindler, and he's Australian, and he's a farmer, and he scams women.